All right, today we are jumping headfirst into the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Yeah, they're calling it OBBBA. It's a brand new tax law, and it's got some massive implications for seniors. So we're going to do a real deep dive here, breaking down exactly what's changed and focusing on the provisions that are really reshaping the financial landscape for anyone 65 and over.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll talk about why this law even exists, how it's stepping in to replace the TCJA. Then we'll cover the permanent changes that affect everybody. After that, we'll get into the real heart of it, the brand new senior deduction. We'll also touch on some other key impacts for seniors and wrap it all up by talking about the crucial planning window this creates.
You know, to really get what's happening with OBBBA, you first have to understand what came before it. We need to talk about the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 and the legislative cliff we were all about to fall off of.
So, take a look at this timeline. Back in 2017, the TCJA changed a lot of things, but here's the kicker. A ton of its key provisions for individuals were set to just vanish at the end of 2025. That's the tax cliff everyone was worried about. So, on July 4, 2025, OBBBA, that's Public Law 119-21 for you technical folks, was signed into law specifically to head that off and set up a whole new framework.
Okay, so with that context, let's look at the new foundation OBBBA builds for everyone. These are the permanent changes that create the new baseline tax world we're all going to be living in, and it's important to understand these before we zoom in on the senior-specific stuff.
The big headline here, and this comes straight from Section 70101 of the Act, is all about stability. That 7-bracket tax structure we've all gotten used to since 2018, well, it's now permanent. OBBBA locks it in, which means we're not snapping back to the old pre-TCJA system.
And that brings us to another permanent change, this one from Section 70102. It's all about the standard deduction. Not only is the higher standard deduction we got from the TCJA now permanent, but it's also getting a little bump up starting in tax year 2025. This gives everyone a slightly higher floor of income that's not taxed.
All right, now we get to the real meat of this explainer, the centerpiece of the whole act when it comes to seniors. We're going to do a granular analysis of Section 70103. This is where they introduce a really significant, though temporary, new deduction.
$6,000. That's the magic number here. Section 7010.3 creates a brand new deduction of $6,000 for every qualifying person who is 65 or older. This single number is the cornerstone of all the new rules we're about to discuss. Now, this is where things get really interesting. This deduction is what's called an above-the-line deduction, which is huge because it means you can take it even if you itemize your deductions. And for a married couple where both partners are over 65, that's a potential $12,000 deduction. But, and this is a huge but, it's not here to stay. This is a temporary tax break only for the tax years 2025 through 2028. Okay, but here's the catch. Not everyone automatically gets the full $6,000. Eligibility for the full amount is tied to your income, and it phases out for higher earners. The specific number they use for this is your Modified Adjusted Gross Income, or MAGI for short. So how do you figure out what you're actually eligible for? Well, it's a 4-step calculation. First, you find your MAGI. Then you see how much it's over the threshold. That's $75,000 for single filers, $150,000 for joint. You take that excess amount, multiply it by 6%, and whatever you get, you subtract that from the original $6,000 deduction.
Let's put some real numbers to this to see how it works. The source material gives a perfect example. Say you're a single filer, 65 years old, with a MAGI of $80,000. That's $5,000 over the $75,000 threshold. 6% of that $5,000 is $300. So you take the $6,000 deduction and subtract that $300. Your new allowable deduction is $5,700. It's a sliding scale. Now, this is absolutely critical, so I want to be crystal clear. This new $6,000 deduction is not the same thing as the existing additional standard deduction for age that seniors already get. They are two totally separate things. As you can see, the new one is for itemizers, has an income limit, and is temporary. The old one is just for non-itemizers, has no income limit, and it's permanent.
And finally, to get this new deduction, you have to check 3 very specific boxes laid out right there in Section 70103.3. First, you have to be 65 by the last day of the tax year. Second, you need a valid Social Security number that's authorized for work. And third, if you're married, you absolutely must file a joint return to qualify.
no exceptions.
Okay, so that big new deduction is the main event, but it's not the whole story. OBBBA has a few other changes tucked inside that seniors really need to have on their radar. Let's break those down.
First up, starting in 2026, they're changing the rules for gambling losses. From now on, you can only deduct up to 90% of your losses, and you still can only deduct them up to the amount of your winnings. And while that might sound like it's in the weeds, it can have a pretty significant ripple effect, especially for seniors.
So why is this a big deal? Well, it all ties back to how your Social Security benefits are taxed. That calculation uses your adjusted gross income, your AGI, which includes all of your gambling winnings. Since you can't fully cancel out those winnings with your losses anymore, your AGI could end up being higher, which could then push more of your Social Security benefits into the taxable category. It's a chain reaction.
The Act also introduces a couple of handy new above-the-line deductions, which is great news for people who don't itemize. Starting in 2026, non-itemizers can deduct up to $1,000 in cash charitable gifts. And just like the big senior deduction, there's a temporary one from 2025 through 2028 for auto loan interest, up to $10,000 specifically for new cars assembled here in the U.S.
So when you put all of these pieces together, one thing becomes incredibly clear. The most powerful new benefits in this law are temporary. They have an expiration date. And that creates a very distinct multi-year window where strategy and timing are going to matter a whole lot.
This timeline really lays it all out. You can see the clock is ticking. The new $6,000 senior deduction and that auto loan deduction, they are only on the books for 4 years, 25, 26, 27, and 28. And then, in 2029, poof, they're gone, unless Congress steps in and decides to extend them.
This limited time frame isn't just a fact, it's a call to action. It creates a real opportunity, but also a pretty urgent deadline. And it leaves us with the critical question everyone should be asking. Knowing that these significant tax benefits are literally designed with an expiration date, what adjustment should you be thinking about right now in your long-term financial plans to make sure you get the most out of them while they're still here?